For those people who desire a life free from chronic pain, I want you to do this now. I want you to stop doing all the things, and I want you to do this now. That's what today's live is going to be about. Before I get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you've been doing to try to solve your problem and why it's not working. And then I'm going to tell you what to do to get out of it. Before we get started, if it's your first time here, my name is Julie Jameson. I'm an embodied healing coach, helping those suffering with chronic pain heal their trauma. I should say heal, not solve. Heal their trauma so they could live a soft and joyful life that is free from chronic pain. All right, let's get into it. So what have you been doing, or what have you already tried, right, to solve your problem of chronic pain? Because if you're somebody who's dealing with chronic pain, I'm sure you've gone down the rabbit hole of YouTube, Google, Substack, you name it, you've done it. Because a lot of people that deal with chronic pain are overachievers. They are the ones who get the job done. They're the ones who stop by all means necessary to get to the root of something. And so that's kind of one of our downfalls, is we don't stop. So you've probably tried everything and anything under the sun when it comes to the medical system. You've poured all your faith into the medical system because that's what people tell you to do. You've exhausted yourself trying to either self-diagnose yourself or find a doctor who will actually figure out what the hell is wrong with you and give you a diagnosis. Because what tends to happen with chronic pain, a lot of times doctors don't know what it is. They can't diagnose you because they don't know what is going on with you. You've tried all the pain medications that there are out there in the market. You've done the cortisol shots. You've even had surgery, and nothing helps because the pain comes back. Just when you think that the pain is gone, because maybe you've gone a few days without the pain, it finds its way to creep back up. And so it's never really gone. It's always there, just waiting to bounce out of the bushes and be like, psych, I'm here, I was never gone. Right? So I'm sure you've tried all of that to solve your problem. You've probably even reached out to the close people in your circle, asking for doctor referrals, of who can help you, of who's out there that might be able to get to the bottom of why I'm feeling so much pain. And I say all of this because I've been there and I've tried all these methods faithfully. And nothing worked until I get to what worked for me. So the reason why none of that is working is because you don't heal pain by fighting it. You don't heal pain by fighting it. One more time. You don't heal pain by fighting it. You heal it by listening to your body. You heal it by slowing down. Because healing happens in stillness, right? And when you finally slow down enough to stop, you'll realize that the root cause of your chronic pain is actually your unresolved trauma. Because the nervous system doesn't understand the present moment or 20 years ago. There's no distinction in the nervous system to tell you that this is something that happened years ago versus something that happened this morning. It just knows how it feels. So the chronic pain, and I'm looking down on my notes because again, y'all know I could ramble, so I don't want to miss anything. But chronic pain is literally just a message from your body that it needs you to address what is going on in your body. It's a cry for help. And you won't figure this out until you sit in stillness, because healing happens in stillness. It's not going to happen in the day-to-day rushing in the day-to-day survival mode, in the day-to-day fight or flight, in the day-to-day, I gotta get this done, I gotta run to this appointment, I gotta pick up the kids here, I gotta go to school now, I gotta go to my second job, then I gotta make sure I catch the train, then I gotta transfer to the bus, oh shit, I forgot my Metro card, now I gotta buy another, now I gotta get an Omni card, I don't have enough, my checking account is on a negative, oh my god, now I gotta ask somebody to sell me some money. And you're constantly problem solving, and you're constantly on the go, and you're constantly doing too much. It's not going to heal in that fight or flight mode. Which is why a lot of times when people are on their healing journey and they haven't come out of survival mode, but they've tried all the things, they've tried the readings and the Reiki and the yoga and the sound healing and the breath work. And am I missing something? The I don't know, if you've seen all the curanderas in your neighborhood and you probably, I don't know, commuted to another borough to see your homegirl's curandera, like babalao or whoever, right? Because you've tried the what is that? What is that kind of yoga again that I really love? Oh, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but you've tried everything under the sun. And it may work temporarily. You'll get a little breakthrough here and there. But everything keeps resurfacing and you can't get past that hump. You can't get past that little hill. And it's because you're still running around like a chicken without a head. You haven't slowed down. You haven't stopped. You haven't sat in stillness. You haven't allowed your body to decompress. You haven't rested. And this is why this happens. This is why so many people, when they're on their healing journey, those who have not come out of survival mode are so disappointed and they're exhausted of trying all the things and nothing really sticks. And it's because your body cannot heal when it's in survival mode. It just cannot. Because in order for it to heal, it has to decompress. It has to come down from all that anxiousness, all that running around, all that high cortisol, all that doing and doing and doing and doing and doing. And it has to slow down enough for everything to recalibrate. And when that happens, that's when everything resurfaces. All the stuff you've been trying to dig, to bury deep inside, and the things you don't want to address, right? All of that starts to resurface, and it forces you to deal with a lot of those things. And what a lot of times chronic pain manifests in those things of your body coming out of that fight or flight, trying to recalibrate, trying to calm itself down so that then it can heal. And so although chronic pain in the moment is debilitating and it hurts so bad, it's actually a good sign. It's a good sign because it means that your body is actually slow, like you are actually taking notice of what's happening in your body. And now it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to stay running around like a chicken without a head, if you're going to stay being superwoman, if you're going to stay not asking for help, if you're going to stay doing the most, or you're finally going to relax enough, which is hard for those of us who've been in survival mode for so long, to rest without guilt, to then tackle your trauma and figure out what is it that got me here? Because chronic pain is you continuing to abandon yourself. We abandon ourselves so much that it manifests into chronic pain. We say yes when we really want to say no. We hold our tongue because we want to keep the peace. We don't want to ruffle feathers. We don't want to get people upset. So we don't express our truth. We don't express our emotions. We keep the rage bottled in, the shame, the fear. We overextend ourselves. We keep going when our body is begging us to slow down and rest. And we continue to abandon ourselves at the state or for the sake of other people, to keep other people happy. So we become these people pleasers. We become these people who want to keep the peace. We become these people who don't want to, who avoid conflict and who don't want to confront people for the bullshit they're doing. right? So all of this happens in the body because the body keeps the score. The body remembers all the times you've been doing that since you were little. And so the body is actually, your body is sounding off with this chronic pain to get your attention so that you can finally be like, oh my God, this pain is excruciating. Why is this happening to me? Because that's, at the end of the day, what the body is trying to do. The body is trying to get your attention because you haven't been listening all these years. You've been brushing shit under the rug. You've been acting like everything is okay. Meanwhile, your life be falling apart. You duct tape it together and you're like, we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it pushing because that's what I've been taught all my life. No matter what happens, you keep it pushing. Meanwhile, your body's like, pump the brakes. We need to address this bullshit that happened 10 years ago. We need to address the bullshit that happened when you were 10. The bullshit that happened when you were 5. The bullshit that happened in your 30s and your 20s and your teens. Like, why are we not addressing that? Because I still feel it. This is the body talking. I still feel it. It's in my DNA. It's in my cells. It's running through my veins. I feel it. And because you keep abandoning yourself and you don't slow down enough to listen, I'm going to make you listen. Because I know that this kind of pain is going to stop you in your tracks. This kind of pain is that kind of pain that Advil and Tylenol ain't going to do shit to. Your chronic pain is going to laugh at Tylenol and Advil. Your chronic pain is going to laugh at them ice packs. Your chronic pain is going to laugh at those heating pads. Your chronic pain is going to laugh at you trying to walk it off. You trying to take a hot bath to make it stop. It's going to laugh at that because it's looking at you like, whatever. Whatever you throw at me, it's going to be nothing. It's going to laugh at those cortisol shots your doctor's going to try to give you. It's going to laugh at the surgery your doctor's going to recommend that you get to stop the pain that does nothing for the pain once you've had the surgery. Because chronic pain at the end of the day is unresolved trauma, trapped emotions in the body that have not been released. And a lot of doctors will have you believe that this is not the case, and they'll have you believe that this treatment and that treatment is going to work. Or sometimes they're baffled and don't know what the hell is going on and can't give you a straight answer, but just give you more medication and hope and pray that it's going to work. So you're stuck in this ever-evolving cycle of I'm miserable, but there's nothing that can be done. So I just got to learn to live with this chronic pain for the rest of my life. Walking and running and exercising, forget about it. Not happening anymore. You wanting to go to happy hour, you can't give a definitive yes to your girls because you don't know what's going to creep up for you Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. So you can't RSVP yes. You can't, you got to be like, I'll let you know. Because your life revolves around this chronic pain and these flare-ups that happen whenever your body wants to signal to you that something is wrong. So what's the counterintuitive thing that you should be doing instead? I want you to ask yourself, because this is what I want you to do now. Let's get to the meat and bones, right? I want you to stop. I want you to stop. I want you to slow down. Because remember, like I said before, you cannot fight chronic pain. You cannot heal chronic pain by fighting it. You have to do the complete opposite, which is slow down and stop. I want you to reflect. And I want you to ask yourself, why abandoning yourself has been your go-to for all these years? Why putting other people before you has been your go-to? Why not expressing your emotions, telling people when they piss you off, telling people when they disappoint you, telling people when they make you feel like shit, telling people when they don't appreciate you? Why you cannot speak your truth. Why you're always trying to keep the peace. Why you're always trying to make everybody happy. Why you always trying to overextend yourself. Why you always trying to overwork yourself. What is it you're trying to prove? Why do you keep abandoning yourself? Where did you learn that that was the answer? And a lot of times we learn this through our childhood, because our childhood is what molds us into the adults that we are today. So what was it in your childhood that taught you that abandoning yourself was the answer? A lot of times it was learned behavior. I know for me, I learned that behavior from my mother. And so I carried the torch. And when I grew up, I did the same thing. For others, it may be that that's the only way that people will show you that they loved you, is when you don't ruffle feathers, when you go with the flow, when you don't cause chaos, when you don't ask people questions as to why do we do this like this? Why does that person not help around the house? Why does this person keep cheating on you and you don't leave? Like, we start to form those patterns in our childhood that then take us into our adulthood. And because these patterns have been happening for so long and for so many years, it becomes normal to us. And we don't see that there's a problem because this is the behaviors that we grew up with. So it becomes almost like part of your family dynamic. And so when you become an adult, you start people pleasing. You don't want to speak your truth. You will say yes when you really mean no, but you don't want to disappoint people. You overextend yourself when you're exhausted, but you still keep doing too much. You keep taking on extra shifts, or you keep staying at work way past the end of your shift. And then you go home and you take care of your family. And the last person that you take care of is yourself. And a lot of times you don't even take care of yourself. And so what tends to happen after years of abandoning yourself is your body starts to literally turn on itself. And it starts to like this fire starts burning inside of you. And next thing you know, the flames are so hot that you start overheating and you start to feel that chronic pain in your body. Because again, that is the body's way of getting your attention to do something about it and to do something different. And to tune into your body and to release all of those stored and pent up emotions that you've had in your body for years, and for some of us decades. I know for myself it was decades. Which is why I was getting that debilitating nerve pain, the migraines where I couldn't get out of bed, the numbness and tingling that radiated down my body. It felt like I was getting electrocuted. The pain going down my hands, up my neck, down my shoulders. The chronic fatigue. And I said to myself, well, I don't know, is this perimenopause? Like, what is happening here? But it was all those years of me abandoning myself, all those years of me showing up for everybody else. Always answering the phone, picking up the phone, helping this one go through that, helping this one talk them down out of that. Me always being there for everybody else. And when I needed somebody, nobody showed up for me. Or if they showed up for me, they weren't fully present like I was with them. And all those years of me always putting everybody before me and not taking care of myself. And I'm not talking about a mani and a pedi and getting my hair done and my eyebrows done and my nails done. That's not the kind of self-care I'm talking about. I'm talking about me literally doing the things that fill my cup, that fill me with joy. Being able to sit in silence and not be uncomfortable. Being able to rest and not feel guilty. So I want you to ask yourself, why abandoning yourself has been your go-to for so long? Why does that feel normal to you? Why does that feel normal to you to do for everyone else and be there for everyone else? But when it comes time for yourself, you don't even know how to show up for yourself. It feels so uncomfortable to you that you rush through it. You rush through the emotions. You rush through the grief. You rush through the anger. You don't even feel comfortable sitting in rage. When so many of us dealing with chronic pain have so much rage trapped inside of our bodies, so much rage and shame and fear. Because at the end of the day, you start being angry with yourself. You start being angry with yourself as to why did you allow this to happen? Why did things have to get so bad for you to notice that you were abandoning yourself? So you start to feel shame. And then sometimes you feel fearful because you're like, oh my God, are these, I'm going to start losing friends and family. And then you start to realize that the ones who leave are the ones who were never meant to be there. So I want you to ask yourself why abandoning yourself has been your go-to, because this is the root of why you're experiencing chronic pain. This is the root of it. This is the meat and potatoes of it. Because medicine is only going to help you with the symptoms. It's only going to help you stop the symptoms. And a lot of times what they do and the things they prescribe don't help with the symptoms. The symptoms crawl back up. It's because it's not getting to the root of your issue. It's not getting to the root of why you're having chronic pain. It's not dealing with the trauma and the emotions that are buried in your body so deep. It's not dealing with any of that. It's just helping the pain to subside somehow. But it's not getting to the root of the issue. Which is why chronic pain is so debilitating. So what do you need to consider yourself to ensure what you're doing, that what you're doing is what you need to be doing? I can't even speak. I want you to slow down. I want you to do the complete opposite of what you've been doing. I want you to stop. I want you to slow down. Because in that stopping and in that slowing down is what is going to allow you to feel your body. It's going to allow you to feel all the signals that your body has been trying to get your attention with. Because when we're in the rush of life and when we're lifing, we feel a little bit of it, but because we are so focused on the next thing and getting through what we need to get through now, literally survival mode, the signals that your body is giving you, you feel it, but it's not urgent enough until it's debilitating. Where now you can't walk, or maybe now you can't run, or now you can't sleep, or it hurts when you sit, it hurts when you stand, it hurts when you walk, it hurts when you run, it hurts when you bend down, it hurts when you stand. So now we're like, okay, what the fuck is that? How do we stop it? Because it's getting in the way of me lifing. Now all of a sudden it becomes important. So I want you to slow down. Because breakthroughs happen in the stillness. And so many people are afraid of stillness because in the stillness is when everything comes up to the surface. In the stillness is when everything comes up to the surface. It's almost like a glass of dirty water. You shake the dirty water, right? And not until you stop shaking it and you put that glass down that all that dirt comes up to the surface. The same thing. So many of us are so scared to deal with that dirt inside that glass that we keep moving. Instead of stopping and slowing down and allowing all that dirt to come up to the surface so you could finally deal with the trauma. You could finally deal with the trapped emotions in your body that are causing you all this chronic pain. That are causing you to live and suffer with chronic pain. And it is some hard work to do. But I will tell you from experience that it is worth it. Because in the end, you finally get your life back. You finally can live a normal life without chronic pain. You finally start feeling like yourself again. And I won't say like yourself again, because you come out of this process a brand new person. You come out of this process with a complete 180 lifestyle change, because you no longer abandon yourself, because you realize that that's what got you here. And so you will never, ever turn your back on yourself again. You will never, ever put other people before you. You will never, ever say yes when you really mean no. You will never, ever not speak up for yourself. You will never, ever, ever make yourself uncomfortable to make others comfortable. Because you know that if you do, you know what's waiting for you on the other side. And you don't ever want to feel that kind of pain ever again in your life. So it takes a complete lifestyle change for you to stay chronic pain free. It's not a one and done of like, oh, let me heal the trauma from when I was 5. Let me heal the trauma from when I was 15. And I'm good. No, you have to keep at it. It's a complete lifestyle change. It's a complete shift of you being the main character in your life. And everything else is in the background. Everything else is part of the backdrop. Including your kids, including your partner, including your spouse, including your parents, including your siblings, including your family. You are the main character, and you start living life through that main character energy. Because that's what's going to keep you free from chronic pain. But first, you have to deal with the trauma. You have to deal with the buried emotions that you don't want to come up to the surface, because you know that that's going to be a shitload to have to deal with. And so you keep burying that shit. And because you go to a Reiki master, or because you go and you charge your crystals during the full moon and new moon, and because you journal, and because you do yoga, and because you do your shadow work, and because you, I don't know what other, the Kundalini yoga, that's what I was trying to think of before. Because you do the sound energy, you do your breath work, you think everything's cool. No. What you're doing is you're putting a band-aid on everything, but you're not getting to the root of nothing. You're not getting to the root of anything. And so I know sitting in stillness, at least for me, for somebody who did not know how to sit still, that was so hard to do. But I was so desperate to end my chronic pain. I was so desperate to get back some sort of normalcy in my life that I was willing to try anything. And so I said, all right, we're going to sit in silence. We're going to see what comes up. We're going to tap into the past. We're going to see why I've abandoned myself for so many years. Why I've sacrificed myself, my well-being for so many years. What was it about my past that made that okay? And we're going to figure out what is going on. Because I know at the end of the day, through all the research that I've done as to what trauma is and how to heal your trauma, is that you have to be able to slow down enough to be able to heal your nervous system. To be able to recalibrate your nervous system from fight or flight to parasympathetic, which is the calm state. Because we are not meant to live in a chaotic nervous system for years. We are not. We are not meant to live in chronic stress. We are not meant to live in high cortisol levels. We are not, that's not supposed to be our default system. But so many of us live in that default system. So there's no way that you can get to true healing while you're in that default system. That's why so many people, when they're on their healing journey, they become hermits. They go into their cocoon stage. It's the rising of the phoenix, right? They disappear from social media. because they know that in order to get through that trauma, it requires a level of stillness and a level of you being alone and you being with your demons. And it's the same thing when it comes to chronic pain. So I want you to slow down enough. I want you to be still, because I want you to start listening to your body. Fully listening to your body. Think about, how do you feel when you're around a certain person? How does your body feel when you're around a certain person that stresses you out? What part of your body starts to ache? How does your body feel when you say yes and you really mean and you really want to say no? You really want to say fuck no, but you say yes. How does your body feel? Where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel that tension in your body? Where do you feel that pain in your body? What part of the body tenses up? I know for me, it was always here, my shoulders. Because it was like, fuck, another thing to do, more responsibility. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders again. I want you to sit and feel the part of your body that tenses up when you keep the peace with people, when you don't say what's on your mind, when you bottle up what it is that you really want to say to somebody. Where is it that you feel the tension rise in your body? Because our bodies are always talking to us. Our bodies are always communicating to us. So I want you to start listening to your body. I want you to start slowing down enough so that you can see what parts of your body tense up, what parts of your body feel the anxiousness rising in your body. Because this is going to start to give you clues as to what's going on. And it's going to start to give you clues about what it is that you need to do in order to stop this chronic pain from happening. The waitlist has opened up for my Return to Self program. The link is in the bio. If you sign up, you'll be the first to know when the program opens up again, where we're going to be diving deep into this of healing your trauma so that you can finally stop suffering and living through chronic pain, and you could finally live a soft and joyful life that's free from chronic pain. You could get back the life that you love, and you could go back in time and remember what it felt like before the debilitating chronic pain surfaced up. And I want you to remember that although this is not, I don't wish chronic pain on anybody, not even my worst enemy, but it is a gift because it's forcing you to look inward. It's forcing you to look inward and to heal the trauma that you've been carrying inside your body for so many years, and for some of us, decades. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM, drop a comment, and I will see you in the next live.